Okay, so normally if we are to derive the equation, what do we need to use in order to derive the equation for a parabola?
The distance formula.
The distance formula. So we have like, the distance formula is the square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared, right? And we also use the formal definition of a parabola, which is PD equals what? PF. Good. All that means is the point on the parabola to the directrix has to equal the same point to the focus. Those two distances should be equal to each other. Okay, if it says derive, that's what you're going to do. Now, on your homework, I am okay if you just write the formula for the parabola as long as you show your work on what you're getting, which means we're going to use a graph in order to show that work. So my focus is at -2, 1. So go ahead and plot that point, -2, 1. That's the focus, so label it with an F. The directrix is at x equals 2. Is that a vertical line or a horizontal line? It goes through the x value of +2. So if it goes through this value here, it's a vertical line, right? So that's x equals 2. Your vertex must be directly between your focus and directrix. Which point on this graph is directly in the middle of -2, 1 and this x equals 2? 0, 1. Good. So I'm going to write down the vertex has to equal 0, 1. What direction is this graph going to open? How do we know that it opens toward the left? How do we know it's negative a value? The focus. We have to open toward the focus, which means we open left. That then tells me that I will have a negative a value. All right, so is this going to be an x equals or a y equals parabola?
Y. X.
X equals, because x is left and right. Right? And it's a negative a value. All right, what do H and K stand for?
X and Y.
The vertex, the x and y value of your vertex. So this is H and K. So we're going to plug in those values. Okay, so we have y minus what? 1. And then what do I add to the end here? You don't have to add anything. You can add 0 and then simplify it, but you don't have to put anything there. So the only thing left I need is the correct a value. If I know c, I can find 4c, right? Does anyone know how to find c from the graph? Very good. This is c right here from the focus to the vertex. How far apart are those? 2. So c equals 2. What does 4c equal? 4 times 2, which is 8. What do I put in for 4c? 8. -1/8. Y minus 1 squared. That is your equation. If you want to do the PD equals PF, then that is completely fine. It is a longer version. I think that this shows more understanding of what you need to graph because you're going backward from the graph. If you can go forward and backward, you really have a good understanding of what you're graphing. But if you want to do the PD equals PF, that's fine. Just watch the other video. All right. One more. over 1, up 1 to plot the focus. The directrix, is this horizontal or vertical?
Horizontal.
Horizontal at y equals 3. Where is the vertex? Good. Directly in between your focus and your directrix. It's got to be the same distance either way, so that's 1, 2. What direction, that's the vertex there, what direction does this open? Down toward the focus. Is it y equals or x equals? Is it positive or negative a value? Negative. Okay, then we have to plug in the correct vertex, which is x minus 1 squared plus what? 2. And 4c, what does c equal? This c is 1. So what is 4c? 4. So that's negative 1/4. There we go.